Hello and welcome to my channel and welcome to my first video of 2023. And I thought it would be very appropriate to start the year by finishing up the project ban of the last year. And I'll also be telling you why I won't be doing a project ban this year in 2023. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Cecile. I live in the Netherlands. I am now 29 years old and I upload videos on makeup and fashion related content. This is the kind of makeup that I personally like to do. I like all kinds of makeup, from drugstore to luxury to indie to everything in between. I don't discriminate when it comes to makeup. I just love colorful and fun and pretty things. So if that sounds interesting to you, then consider subscribing. And now let's get right into this project ban finale of 2022. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to start with something that I did finish up finally, and this was hell to finish up. This is the MAC Fix Plus in the pink light. And as you can see, there's still a tiny little bit, but I can't get that out with this machinery anymore. So I'm just going to count it as empty. It started off at 105 and it now weighs 52. So I feel like that's good use. I don't really use setting sprays anymore, and I found that the more I use this, the more opaque the pink shimmer became. You can actually see it. I used a little bit underneath my eyes to dull down the heavy powder that I used, and it's actually a little bit shimmery right there. So it's just a little bit too much. I don't really like the nozzle on this, so setting sprays just really aren't for me. So I'm glad this is finished up and I can get rid of it. Now from a very high we go to a very low, because I did not use my Holika Cushion Foundation over the last couple of months, and I must admit most of these products I did not use over the last couple of months because I fell into the same problem again, where I had a separate bag for all of my project ban stuff and I put it next to my other bag with more Shop My Stash kind of stuff, and I always reach for the Shop My Stash bag, and that's what I'm going to get into at the end of this video. So therefore there's no weight change here. Was weighing 63 at the start of the year, is now weighing 62. I'm just going to mention start and finish for this finale. Anyway, I don't really love this foundation. I'll finish it up at some point, but I don't really care about it that much. Then something that I did try to finish up over the last couple of days, by the time I realized I had to do this update. This is the La Base Pro Hydra Glow from Lancome. I'm actually wearing it underneath another glowy foundation right now, or a glowy foundation. But I do really like this product. I like the way it feels. Don't think it's earth-shatteringly good, but I still like it. I did finish up a gram of this since the last update, or two actually. It was weighing 25, last update was 20, and now it's 18. And I don't think there's much product left anymore, so I'll just finish this up unofficially. Then another thing that went pretty well was my Chanel concealer. See, some of these things I took out of the project ban bag and put in my Shop My Stash bag, and then I did use them quite a bit. So this concealer, I feel like it's almost at the end of its life, but I've been saying that for a while now. Anyway, it was weighing 22 at the start of the year. It's weighing 20 now. It was weighing 21 last update, so that's okay. My little Clarins brow set. I'll show you this abomination again. I did use it a couple of times, but I was nowhere near finishing up one of these powders, and I don't think I ever will. I'm very much fond of this kind of brow style with the pen, so I think if I don't use it again over the course of 2023, which is what will count for most of these products, I'm just going to declutter them. Then my Chanel cream bronzer. This is the Les Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in 390. You know the one. This is actually starting to dry out a little bit. So yesterday I used it and I barely got any impact. I think today I sort of went a little bit heavier with the brush and I did get a proper bronze, so I'll really have to make some moves with this one, because I do like it. I don't love it, but I do like it. Anyway, it was weighing 135 at the beginning of the year, 130 in the last update, and 130 still. Then another disappointment was this Guerlain Trio Stick. It's been weighing 26 grams for the full length of this year, and it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I forget to use it. So I feel like if I put this, I'll show you the system at the end of the video. Just wait and see. Then my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is the one, I have it in the shade Light. Thing is, even with my palest foundation, this is still not enough bronze for me. And I don't really need that heavy of a bronze. Something like this is perfectly fine, but this is almost my skin tone and I'm very fair. I'm usually the palest or the second to palest foundation shade. So I don't really know what this is for. It is too dark as a setting powder. Like I always say, I use this to blend out deeper bronzers. And I have done that, but there's no weight change since last time. It was weighing 132 and it still is. We started out in the year, at the beginning of the year with 134. So this is going to be a slow process, but just wait and see. Once I finish this up, I'm going to get the medium one for sure. Then we have some success in my books. The Shiseido powder blush. I guess the biggest achievement was last update when I went from 40 grams to 39. I'm just going to try to show you. Do you see how deep that dent is? I feel like it shouldn't take me that much longer to hit the pan. There's only 4 grams in this thing, so I'm wearing it right now. I really love this blush. I've been wearing it a lot, so yeah, slowly but steadily we will get there with that one. Then my Becca highlighter. It's funny, I've found an appreciation for Becca highlighters. I liked them when I discovered them like 4 years after everyone else. Then I discovered other highlighters like the ones from Dior that I loved a little bit more. But now I've been really into the shade Pearl as a white, almost see-through highlighter, and that has made me interested, or a little bit more interested, in this one in Prismatic Amethyst as well. And I don't know if you can see, but there's actually a little dip in this one as well. No weight change. It was weighing 62 and it still is. We started out at 63 at the beginning of the year. I like the fact that I like this again. I'm wearing it right now. You don't need a lot and you need to buff it in really well, and then it's actually kind of pretty. Then we have my one eyeshadow palette in this project, and I've quickly realized this year that if I am going to pan anything, it's not going to be eyeshadow palettes. The funny thing is, I did pan a couple of eyeshadows this year that weren't even in the project because I just use them all the time and I love them. And I got a little bit scared of it because they're my favorite shades and I want to use them forever. So the idea of panning an eyeshadow palette on purpose just seems a little bit sad to me. It's not like we're going to get through our eyeshadow palette collection anytime soon, so one palette more or less doesn't really make a difference, but losing an eyeshadow palette that you really like does make a difference to me. Anyway, my point being that I did use this palette a couple of times, but that I am actually kind of glad that I didn't finish it up because I do really like this. I've been liking a little bit more subtle makeup, especially now that I've started wearing makeup to my university for the first time in a couple of years, but I don't want to overdo it, and this kind of eyeshadow is perfect for that. So it was weighing 53 as it has been all year. Moving on to some mascara. We have the YSL Gold Mascara, which I do use from time to time on my bottom lashes especially. I'm still not sure if you can actually see it, but I like doing it and I do like this. And these YSL mascaras, they go on for years. I've had this for about 3 years already. I do have older mascaras even from YSL. I know people say you shouldn't do that, but they're perfectly fine. They smell exactly the same, they work the same, there's still plenty of product left, they were expensive. So I'm just going to keep on using them until my eyelashes fall off, then I'll stop. Anyway, this was weighing 41. It went to 40 in the last update, but it's weighing 41 again. The other mascara is something that I completely forgot to use. Anyway, this is the Clinique High Impact Mascara in a dark brown shade. It's been weighing 20 all year. It still is. Like I said, I keep forgetting it. The KVD Dazzle Stick. I did use this a couple of times in the summer and then I forgot about it again. So it's still weighing 14 grams, but I'll continue to use this. It's still good. So then we have my MAC Diva pencil. I feel like if I ever do a project pan again, I'm not going to put in such a deep colored pencil because I only use these every now and then. And I did, but I mean, there's hardly any progress. If you would ask me to put in a lip liner a second time, then I would definitely do something a little bit more like this from Glamlight and Michaela, one of their collabs. That's something that I use almost every day, so there'll actually be some progress. This is just boring to put in a project. Anyway, it was weighing 5 at the beginning of the year. It's now weighing 4 as it was last update. Then we have my Chanel 4 lip glosses palette. I unfortunately did not reach my goal with this one, but I'm going to have to do that soon because it's not like it smells bad, but it doesn't really smell the same as it did at the beginning of the year. This was weighing 69 at the beginning of the year and it's now weighing 65, so I feel like I've made some decent progress with this one, but it's the same weight as last time, so I did forget about it again. I do really like these, so I don't care that I have to be with them a little bit longer, but I'll need to get on that. Then we have my additions that I added at the halfway point in the year. I have my Huda Beauty cream lipstick in the shade Gold Digger. This nasty little thing. I did use it a couple of times, but it's still weighing 29. Just like last time. Then I have my Dior Burgundy lip gloss. I did use this quite a couple of times. I really like putting this on top of a matte liquid lipstick in a red shade. As you can see, we're nearing the end with this one, but it's not finished yet. It was weighing 28 when I put it in and it's now weighing 27. Then we have my Benefit Microfilling Brow Pen. I use this every day. I have been for at least 3 months, but it's still going strong. It was weighing 5 when I put it in and it still is, and I don't really care because I do really like it. So, and then finally I added a skin tint. This is the Hydro Hero from Essence. As you can see, it's getting a little bit lower, but since the time I put it in, it was weighing 28 and it still is, so I guess I forgot about that one as well. So all in all, let me quickly round all this up. Okay, so overall there have been 33 products in the project this year. 4 of them were added at the halfway point and 6 of them were taken out at the halfway point. I reached my goal on 6 things. So everything else is sort of still pending, didn't really change at all. Overall, I would say that this was not a very successful project, but the funny thing is, I'm going to do my empties in a couple of days and you'll see that I did finish up quite a lot of product, just the ones that I felt like using. So I guess making a basket at the beginning of the year with every good intention doesn't really work for me. I need a rolling system. So what I've decided to do from now on is I have this lovely, what's it called, box and I put my Shop My Stash in here. I also have a little box over there which is very similar with some brow products and stuff like that. That's going to be my Shop My Stash. I'm going to exchange those products every couple of weeks whenever I feel like a switch up. And that will be my daily use. Those will be my daily use products. Of course, I'll also reach for some other stuff every now and then, but on the daily I'll use those. And then also I have a small selection of eyeshadow palettes and face palettes over there in a cabinet, and I'll use those as well. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll do Shop My Stash videos every couple of weeks. Not every time I switch it up, but every now and then. And that way you'll see what I like to use. I can talk a little bit about new things, old things, what I'm using at the current moment. And then next to that, instead of doing a yearly empties video, I'll do empties videos every couple of months whenever I feel like I've gathered some stuff, or maybe 4 times a year. And that way I can talk a little bit about what I've actually used up and how it was, and I can still set goals for myself if I want to finish something up. But if I don't want to anymore after a couple of weeks, then I can just quietly exchange it for something else. I'll keep finishing things up, I'll keep prioritizing older makeup, but I won't lay such heavy but I won't lay such heavy pressure on it anymore with the weight goals and the little notebook and the separate bag, and it's just not really my style. So I feel like I've given project planning a proper try this year, when I didn't forget, of course, but overall it's just not for me, and this new system feels like it's going to be much more for me. So I hope you enjoyed my project plan series. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you did like it, even though I'm not going to be project planning anymore. And I will hopefully see you in the next one.